Good morning, students. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So today we'll see the second type of transportation problems. It is unbalanced supply and demand. So I'll just write the problem definition. Just a minute. I think there is a problem with the touch pen. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. Unbalanced supply and demand. So just note down the problem definition. A product is produced by 4 factories. A product is produced by 4 factories: A, B, C, and D. The production costs in them are the production costs in them are rupees 2, rupees 3, rupees 2, rupees 3, rupees 1, and rupees 5 respectively. And rupees 5 respectively. The production capacities are their production capacities are factory A 50 units, A 50 units, B 70 units, and sorry, C 30 units, and D 50 units. These factories supply the product to 4 stores. These factories supply the product to 4 stores. demands of which are demands of which are 25, 35, 105 and 20 units respectively. Unit transportation cost in rupees. Unit transportation cost in rupees from each factory to each store, from each factory to each store is given below. Determine the extent of deliveries the extent of deliveries so that the total production and transportation costs are minimum. Note of this unit cost. There are 4 factories. There are 4 stores. Fourteen, 3, 9, 12, 4, 6, 4, 6, 8, 3. This is the problem given. Have you noted it down? So if you just read the problem definition, what it says, so demand and supply of factories and stores has been mentioned in the problem. Also, in the table they have mentioned the transportation cost, and also they have mentioned the production cost. So if you read the problem, in the first 2 lines, a product is produced by 4 factories, A, B, C, D. The production costs in them are rupees 2, rupees 3, rupees 1, and rupees 5 respectively. So production cost of factory A is 2, B is 3, and C is 1, and D is 5 rupees. And their production capacities have been mentioned as 50 units, 70 units, 30 units, and 50 units respectively for factories ABCD. And these factories supply the product to 4 stores. The demand of the stores has been mentioned as 25, 35, 105, and 20 units. And unit transportation cost is given in the table. So this is the table in which they have mentioned the unit transportation cost. So what they were asked, determine the extent of delivery so that the total production and transportation costs are minimum. If you see the given table, it is only the transportation cost. So we need to add the production cost in this table so that it will give a table of total production and transportation cost. So we need to add the production cost to each of these cells depending upon the factories. So if you just see here, the factory A production cost is rupees 2. So to all these values across A row, we need to add the production cost of rupees 2 in each of these cells. So that this will become entirely the production plus transportation cost table. So respectively, factory B, factory C, we need to add the respective production costs as 3, 1, and 5 respectively. So what is the modified table I'll get? So I'll just write the total production and transportation costs table is given as so just write it here. So these are factories A, B, C, D, stores 1, 2, 3, 4. So the transportation cost is 2 and the production cost is also 2. Similarly, for this 4 plus 2, 6 plus 2, then 11 plus 2. And for factory B, the production cost is rupees 3. So 10 plus 3, 10 plus 3, then next is 8 plus 3, next is I think 7, yeah, 7 plus 3, then 5 plus 3, similarly here 13 plus 1 because production cost of C is rupees 1, then 3 plus 1, then 9 plus 1, and 12 plus 1, and finally 4 plus 5, 6 plus 5, 8 plus 5, and 3 plus 5. The supply and there is demand and capacities are given. The production capacity of each factory is mentioned and demand of each store has been mentioned. If you read the problem, the production capacities are 50, 70, 30 and 50 units respectively. Similarly, the demand is 25, 35, 105 and 20 units. Okay. So this is the total production and transportation cost. First, I'll just add all these values. capacity and demand. So if I add this, what I'll get? 4. So you can just see here in the previous table. So 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. 1, 11 plus 2 is 13. And again 13, 11, 10, 8, and 14, 4, 10, 13, 9, 11, 13 again, 8. And capacity is 50, 70. Just write it. Okay, let it be 50, 70. Write it. Okay, I'll just write a bit away so that capacity, it is 50, 70, 30, and 50. And demands are excuse me, 25, 35, 105, and 20. Sorry, 105 and 20. So the first and foremost thing, you need to check whether supply is equals to demand, that is capacity is whether equals to the demand value. So if I add capacities, so just see here, that is 50 plus 70, 120, 120 plus 30 is 150, 150 plus 50 is 200. So it is 200. And if you add demand, so 25 plus 35 is 60, 60 plus 105, 165, 165 plus 20 is 185. So if you see, there is a difference of 15 units among capacity and demand. So hence it is called as unbalanced demand and supply transportation problem. So first and foremost thing, you need to make these supply and demands equal. So by looking at the values, there is a, if you see the demand values, it is 185. So 15 units demand is less. So we need to add 15 units demand as a dummy demand. So how shall I add? I can add one column, I can add one column which is called as the dummy column, whose demand will be 200 minus 85, that is 15 units. So this is called as dummy store, and whose the production and transportation costs are 0. So to make this supply and demand equal, depending upon whether capacity is less or demand is less, we need to add either a column or row. If this capacity would have been 185, I would have added one extra row with 15 units as the capacity. But as demand is less, hence I need to add a column with 15 units demand. Okay, this understood? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how to make the given unbalanced supply and demands to a balanced supply and demand? So depending upon which value is less, we need to add that particular row or column. Okay. So now I have made it equal. Just delete this. Okay, so this is 20. This 50. Now I'll get the initial basic feasible solution by using Vogel's approximation method. Because if you see the all other methods, it will give the cost, that is initial transportation cost, as bit higher as compared to Vogel's approximation method. So Vogel's approximation method will give the initial transportation cost very near to the optimum transportation cost. So first step, initial basic feasible solution by Vogel's approximation method. So if they do not mention in the exam, you need to assume the method as Vogel's approximation method. So again, I am not going to explain this method here. I'll take directly the solution from the textbook, and then I'll proceed to the optimality of the given solution. Is it okay? Hello? Hello? Shall I write the initial solution directly?
Yes, sir. No problem.
Okay. One dummy column I have to add. This is all values are 0. Fifteen, 4, 9, then 11, 4, 11. And next is 10, 10, 13. 13, 8, 13, 8. Okay. I'll just write the, yes,
Excuse me, sir.
yeah.
So third row, first column, that is 14, sir. You have written it as 4.
Oh, okay, yeah, it is 14. Sorry. Thank you. Just erase that. Yeah, this is 14. Now I'll just add the number of units by Vogel's approximation method. For first it is 25 and 520. So this is by using Ogel's approximation method. I'm just directly copying it. Is 70 and this is 30 and this is 15, this is 20, this is 50. Okay, so this is the solution what I have got from the Ogel's approximation method. This is dummy. So what is the initial transportation and production cost? So therefore total transportation plus production cost is equals to 4 into 25 plus 6 into 5 plus 8 into 20 plus 10 into 70 and 4 into 30 plus 13 into 15 plus 8 into 20 plus 0 into 50. This is I think 1465. Okay. Now I need to check whether this is the obtained solution in this step is an optimum solution or not. So to check for optimality by using Modi method. So the second step, check for optimality, whether the obtained solution is optimum or not. So first check whether the number of allocations are equals to m plus n minus 1 or not. That is number of rows plus number of columns minus 1. If you just see here, number of rows, how many are there? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number of columns, 5. Correct? That is, you should include the dummy column also. So it is 4 plus 5 minus 1, it is 8. Correct? And if you check the number of allocations, that is the I have written with the red ink, those are allocated cells. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it is equal. So also allocations equals to 8. So therefore we can perform optimality test by using Modi method, that is modified distribution method. By using modified distribution method. Okay, so the first step in that is cost matrix. Cost matrix of allocated cells. Allocated cells. I'll just write that. Okay, so from the matrix, so what are the costs that of allocations? Just here, 4, 6, 8, 4, 6, 8, because that is allocated. 4, 6, 8, Then you see here it is 10, that is 10 and 4. So 10, just below this 10, and 4 is here. And remaining 3, you just check in this 13, 8, 0. Sorry, 13, 8, and 0. And these remaining cells are called as empty cells. So now I'll calculate U and V's, UI onwards, Vj with this. I'll calculate V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. And here U1, U2, U3, U4. So what is the relation? That is cost is equals to Cij is equals to Ui plus Vj. So to start with, always we need to assume one of the value. So I'll assume V1 as 0. So what I'll get U1? So U1 plus V1 is 4. So U1 will be 4. Then I can calculate V2 from this. V2 plus U1 is 6. Correct? V2 plus U1 is 6. But U1 is 4. So V2 will be 6 minus 4. It is 2. Then V3 plus U1 is 4. Sorry. V3 plus U1 is 8. So what is V3? V3 minus U1, that is 8. 8 minus U1, that is 4. Sorry. So it is U1 plus V3 is equals to 8, but U1 is 4. Therefore, 8 minus 4 will be 4. Now, I know V3, I can calculate U2. How? U2 plus V3 is U2 plus V3 is equals to 10. But what is V3? It is 4. So 10 minus 4, it is 6. Then I can calculate this U3. U3 plus V2 is equals to 4, but V2 is 2. So 4 minus 2, it is 2. Then I'll calculate U4 because we know V3. So U4 plus V3 is 13. So 13 minus 4, that is 9. Then here U4 plus V4 is 8. Correct? U4 plus V4 is 8. Therefore, V4 is 8 minus 9, that is minus 1. This is minus 1. Then U4 plus V5 is 0. Therefore, V5 will be 0 minus 9, it is minus 9. Right? Hope there is no difficulty in calculating these values. Now I'll just write Ui plus Vj for empty cells. Next step, I think 4. So Ui plus Vj for empty cells or unallocated cells. These are allocated, these are empty. That is, wherever I have not written anything, those are empty cells. So I'll just add Ui and Vj and I'll get matrix. Do you have any class after this? Do you have any next class? So I'll put a red mark in the allocated cells. So these are allocated cells. So now I'll add the values for empty cells, that is Ui plus Vj. Just see here. So here minus 1 plus 4, it is 3. Then 4 minus 9. It is how much? Minus 5. Correct? Then what about this 2? That is 6 plus 0 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. 6 and 8. 6 and 8. And here you see 6 minus 1, it is 5. 6 minus 9, it is minus 3. Right? So 5 and minus 3. And what about this? 2 plus 0 is 2. And 9 plus 0 is 9. And write these two. Then what about this? 9 plus 2 is 11. And similarly, these are 6, 1, and minus 7. Okay. Now, Cij at the step number 5, Cij minus Ui plus Vj for empty cells. And this is called as the cell evaluation matrix, which will give whether our obtained solution is optimum or not. So if you just see what is the cost associated with these empty cells from the original matrix. So here it is 13, here 0. So just see here 13 minus 3. 13 minus 3, it is 10. So I'll just write the matrix. So just write directly, and these are allocated cells. So I'll just calculate these values and I'll write it here. So what I'll get 10, 5, and 7, 3, 3, 3, and 12, 4, 12, 7, and these are zeros. So if you see all the values in this particular cell are positive or zeros, there is no negative value. That means the obtained solution in the first step is an optimum solution. So this is my optimum transportation plus production cost. So number of that is these zeros, whatever in the matrix present, tells that there is an alternative solution with same transportation plus production cost. So presence of 0 indicates there are two more solutions with the same value of 1465. Therefore, as all the cell values in cell evaluation matrix are positive, therefore obtained solution in the earlier step, or the first feasible solution, earlier step is an optimum solution. Therefore, minimum transportation plus production cost is equals to 1465. Okay, so this is the answer. And this you mark it as an important problem. Okay, so this problem has been asked many times because of the starting two steps, that is adding the transportation cost and making it balanced transportation problem. Hope it is clear. Okay, shall we stop now, because I think you have one more class. Just now I have checked the timetable. Same class is there. Okay, so I'll just stop the recording and mark your attendance.